Hey guys, I've been spending the last week playing the new Infernal Hordes content in the Season 5 PTR, and in this video, I want to talk about what exactly is it, how does it fit into the current endgame, and is it enough to make the Diablo 4 endgame feel complete? Let's talk about it. So first off, I must say the Infernal Hordes questline leading up to unlocking it is really cool and gives us a perspective to a faction we have not really had much insight into. I won't go into spoilers, but you'll be excited to check it out if you're a lore junkie like me. Beyond that, the actual gameplay of Infernal Hordes has you diving back into hell and taking on the legions of Mephisto wave by wave so they don't break through the veil between hell and sanctuary. The way this works is that you'll start out completing 5 different waves of hordes of enemies spawning on top of you that last 90 seconds each. Upon successful completion of a wave, you are presented with something called a bane or a boon, and you'll have 3 different choices to choose from. What these do is that they give you an affix to empower your character or allow you to earn more of the currency available in the run. We'll talk about that in a bit. And then a bane, which makes the next waves a little bit more difficult. Now, the currency you earn inside of the Infernal Hordes is called Burning Aether, and this is used to claim one of many spoils at the end of the run. So upon completing these waves, you will enter a boss fight where you're fighting the Infernal Council. You may recognize these guys from the Provincial back in Diablo 2. Upon completion, you can claim different spoils: a spoil of equipment for gear, a spoil of materials for gems and other mats, a spoil of gold, and then if you're doing the highest tier, which is tier 10, you can get a spoil of greater equipment. And here's the kicker: this guarantees you at least one piece of loot with a greater affix on it. That's right, we have a way now to target farm greater affix gear. Now, how does this all fit into the current endgame? Infernal Hordes improves the endgame grind by allowing you to find a way to target farm gold, materials, and gems so that you can continuously enchant the gear you find. And best of all, we finally have a way to target farm greater affix loot if you're really trying to squeeze out the potential of your character. This feels like it's going to become a core piece of endgame content you're going to want to run to max your character, alongside with the pit to masterwork your items, and then of course the Ubers that'll allow you to target farm those uniques and Uber uniques. Now the question is this enough for Diablo 4 to have a fully fleshed endgame? I don't think it is, and I'll tell you why. Each season, we are getting more content of things to do in the game, but in my opinion, it lacks the depth and stickiness to personally keep me interested in the game throughout the entire span of a season. I noticed that once I complete the battle pass, once I complete the season journey, maybe I have a few characters at level 100 doing some of the endgame activities, where that novelty wears off, I feel like there is a lack of depth, which loses my interest rather than continuously grinding and trying to min-max these items. What I feel Diablo 4 really needs is more character progression systems. For example, if we're talking about the pit in Diablo 4, we can compare this 1-to-1 with the greater rift from Diablo 3. The difference between the two, and why I feel like greater rifts are more addictive for me to continuously want to run, is the reward at the end. In the pit, yeah, you get the experience and you get the items, but you just get materials to help towards masterworking. In Diablo 3, you get these legendary gems, which you can continuously level non-stop, proportional to your highest level of rift you're able to complete. I love this idea that ties improved player power with player progression in the rift. I don't feel like that's really there in not only the pit, but any current endgame system. I also feel like it was a missed opportunity for Blizzard to cap out Paragon points at level 100. Also, there aren't other progression systems or trees that give us other bonus ways to improve our character. For example, if we want to use other competitive games, Path of Exile's Atlas maps, which allows us to modify current content and affixes of, say, Nightmare Dungeons to give us cool things like, say, Magic Find or chance to target farm loot with very specific affixes. I feel like that's really needed to make Diablo 4's endgame more sticky. Right now, I feel like each season we're seeing horizontal growth. So we're seeing more things to do. But for example, the Infernal Hordes that's coming, it lacks depth. What we've been getting is just more content that builds upon already existing character progression systems, when what we need are new systems. Now, maybe I'm wrong and I'm just being a stickler, but I would love to hear your comments on where you feel Diablo 4's endgame is at. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this type of content, please consider subscribing and liking for the future growth of this channel. Thank you.